Hello guys, and welcome to the Chem Crown channel where I share something interesting and exciting about the basic concepts of chemistry subject. So if this video helps you to learn something about the subject, then please like the video, share the video with your friends, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up while watching this video at some point. Another thing I want to let you know that this video and the next incoming videos I will upload to this channel are specially designed to help students who are either beginner or intermediate level students. So if you are one of them, you are most welcome and you are at the right place. Now without any further delay, let's dive into the class lecture. Okay, so today we are going to discuss what is chemistry. So here you can see what is chemistry. So this is a pre-planned class, okay? So I have already taken some notes and today I will share those notes with you. So chemistry is actually the study of properties of matter, the study of matter, composition of matter, and the laws and principles under which different changes takes place. So basically what I'm going to do now is to split this definition into various other parts just to make it very easy and interesting. So the first part is matter. What is matter? So I think it's very easy and straightforward to understand. Matter is anything which has mass and occupies space is called matter. And here are the examples of matter, for example, table, gases, water, etc. So depending upon you can give different examples. The second one is composition. What we mean by composition. So composition is actually the constituent atoms or particles which simply makes the substance or matter, okay? So here we have two examples, for example water and sodium chloride. In case of water, three atoms in which two are hydrogen and one is oxygen, they simply bind together with the help of single covalent bonds and they form water molecule. So it's the composition of water. The second example is sodium chloride. In this case, the sodium is positively charged, or you can say the sodium has unit positive charge while chlorine has unit negative charge. Both these counter ions attract each other and form sodium chloride, and this kind of attraction or this kind of arrangement repeats itself throughout the substance. So this was something about the composition. So the composition of sodium chloride is simply sodium and chlorine. Okay, the third one is property. What is property? So any characteristic which helps you to recognize the matter, it's called property. Any characteristic which helps you recognize the matter is called property. I think property and characteristics are two different names for the same thing. Here I have the example, and now I will explain it with the help of example. So let's suppose that if someone give me information about the sodium chloride, and those information contains the color, melting point and boiling point of the sodium chloride. So let's suppose that I don't know it is sodium chloride, but if someone asks me and give me these information, okay, and then he asked me what this substance is having these kind of properties, so I will directly say that this is sodium chloride because I know about the properties of sodium chloride, the color, for example, the color, melting point and boiling point. So these are the information with the help of which I understand and I recognize this, that it is sodium chloride. So property is any characteristic. Simply it helps you to understand what particular type of matter it is. Now there are two types of properties. One is physical property and the other one is chemical property. So by physical property, we means it doesn't involve a change in the composition or chemical makeup of the substance. For example, here we have water in a closed. For example, here we have water in a container in the liquid state. So if you boil the water at 100 degrees centigrade, so some of the water molecules from the surface of the water will goes into gaseous state. In this case, the water molecule simply goes from liquid state to the gaseous state. But we have to keep it in mind that the composition of water in the liquid state and in the gaseous state still remains the same. In the liquid state, 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom, while in the gaseous state, 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atoms make the water molecule. So in both cases we have the same composition. So this kind of property, for example, the water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. So the boiling point of water is of course a physical property because it doesn't involve any change in the chemical makeup. The second property is chemical property, because we have already discussed that there are two types of properties. One is the physical property we discussed just before a while the second one is the chemical property. So any characteristic which involves a change in the composition, it's called chemical property. So the compound name is AB in the solid form, and when I heat this compound at a specific temperature, let's suppose that at this temperature, at this particular temperature, this substance decomposes into A and B. So when it decomposes, there are two substances which are formed. Okay, so the first one is A, which is in the gaseous form, and the second one is B, which is in the liquid form. So on the product side we have two substances, and on the reactant side we have only one substance. So if we think about the composition of this substance, which is AB, okay, and this, which in the composition of this substance is completely different from this one and this one. So here we have the composition of this substance is AB, while in this case we have simply the composition of this compound is A, while the composition of this compound is B. So here the composition of both reactants and products is totally changed. We have new substances which is in the gaseous and the liquid state. So in this case you can see clearly that the composition of the reactant changes when it converts into products. So again, any characteristic which involved a change in the composition is called chemical property. Okay guys, so after discussing all these things, now let's come to the last point, which is laws and principle under which different changes takes place. So basically I am going to discuss these two laws, Boyle's law and Chloride's law, to explain the behavior of the gases when we change certain variables under different conditions. So the first law is Boyle's law, and according to this law, the volume of a fixed amount of a gas is inversely proportional to its pressure when the temperature is kept constant. So what happens when we increase the volume, the pressure decreases, and when we decrease the volume, the pressure increases when the temperature is kept constant. In the same way, in the Chloride's law, the volume of a fixed amount of a gas is directly proportional to the temperature when the pressure is kept constant. So in this case, when we increase the volume, the temperature increases, and when we decrease the volume, the temperature decreases. So this is all I could say about the definition of chemistry I am not going to explain these two laws because I think this is enough just to understand what is the definition of chemistry. So hopefully in the next incoming videos I will explain these laws in details. Hopefully you will like this video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next class.